JPO.
And we are here, and you are here with Redbox'd. Okay, so today we will be reviewing, and let me have a little bit, I have to admit, I didn't really do my research on this, so very sorry. So here, the point of this channel is to review maybe fringe type of videos that you might find in your local Redbox kiosk. Yep. And so we'll give you an honest review after we watch them, and then we will read the reviews on the Redbox app to see how close they were to what we thought. Now, we are not professional movie critics, although we do think we are. Okay, yes. So let me find this. This is actually called Unfriended Dark Web. And when you search for this, and I have to admit, I'm not really confident, but I think this might be a sequel.
I think so too.
Because there is also a movie called Unfriended.
Yes. I was going to say it had something to do with social media. Okay.
So let me read the summary here. A summary is: a stolen laptop prompts a cabal of hackers to terrorize a group of young adults convening online. This weekly Skype board game night. I've never actually seen people do that. No. Do people do that? Maybe it's maybe we should start this Skype board gaming. It's disrupted by the discovery of a folder filled with snuff films and a stream of increasingly ominous threats via, get this, Facebook Messenger. Oh, that doesn't happen in real life, does it?
No.
So this is actually in the genre of horror or thriller and suspense, and is directed by Steven Susko. Never heard of him.
Nope. Maybe this is a one-hit wonder.
It could be, or maybe a second hit flop. Who knows? Let's see who's in it. We have Colin Woodall. He doesn't sound familiar to me. Betty Gabriel.
Nope.
Sounds old, like Betty White. But Betty White's cool. I don't know about Betty Gabriel.
Betty Grable.
Rebecca Rittenhouse. That sounds familiar, but I think it's because it is the name of a group in another film or show that I like, which was, it's a time-traveling one. I don't know what it is right now. Andrew Lees, Connor Del Rio, Stephanie Newgrass, Severa Winyani, Brian, that's an easy one, Brian Adrian, Chelsea Alden, and Douglas Tate. This could possibly be their first and last film. We'll see. It is made by or published by Universal. So without further ado, let's get this thing rolling.
Yeah.
Okay, well, JPO, what did you think of that?
Oh, man. Oh, I don't know.
It is tough to describe. Well, if you were to give it, let's go with a star rating, since Redbox uses a star rating. Okay. How many stars would you give this film?
Say a 7 or an 8.
Out of 5.
5, 3.
You'd give it a 3. You'd give it a solid middle. Now,
what about you?
I don't know if I'd give it that many, because there's lots of parts of this movie that I thought could have been cut out. That's sort of like, it's my barometer for stuff. So if we could cut off a bunch of the movie and it still makes sense, then it's kind of crap. And, you know, my impression of the movie is this, that the whole point was, it was sort of like a turn upside down sort of thing, where they were getting together for the Skype game night, which sounds kind of interesting. Probably want to try it. But they're going for this game. Some weird crap happens, and it ends up this kid, the main kid that stole the laptop, he decides to say, oh, it's a big prank and I'm doing it, and he's sort of like a coder and stuff like that. So, and then at the end to have like these people, it seemed to me that what they're trying to say is that what was happening was a game, but it was like a dark web game where like people really get killed and stuff, and people pay a lot of money to like watch it.
Yeah.
It was a big thing. So it sort of turned on its face. So that's what I got out of it. I thought that it was probably pretty cheaply made because, you know, there weren't any scenes for the most part, except for like 3 or 4 different locations, which are one rooms, which is probably in, as we know, the same place, and a lot of screenshots and stuff like that. I thought kind of like a lot of the context switching between like Facebook and Skype chat and this dark web river thing they're talking about in the videos happened super quick, so you kind of miss it, but sort of like how technology in the world is now. So I'd give it a 2. Okay. Maybe a 1. Let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. I love Redbox because it cost me $1.86 with tax. I wouldn't have loved it if I spent
$1.86 on this movie.
RIP! Probably. This bonus here that I don't think we're going to go into, alternate endings, who deserves to live. Man, I don't know how long that is, and I don't think I'll be able to live. So it was $1.86, like I was saying. Was it $1.86 good? Yeah, it was $1.86 good. Yeah. If I spent $50 in the movies between drinks and admission and popcorn, I'd be pissed. I don't think I would. I'd be really mad. I don't think I'd be happy with that. But the $1.86, if you got nothing better to do, and you kind of like the tech thing, you like to see the big names like Skype and Facebook and all that stuff, it's okay.
Yeah, that was all right.
All right.
I think it appeals more to a younger audience.
Probably like teenagers.
Right.
So what I'm going to do now is we're going to start to read what everybody else thinks about this, which is probably my favorite part. So what I'm going to do is get that going so that everybody can see.
Go on the dark web.
I'm going on the dark web. The dark web is starting, so let's see, Unfriended. Right, so it comes up as 2, so, all right. So, all of our fellow Redboxers out there are giving this guy an average of 2 stars out of 5. Sort of like in line, I gave it a 2, you gave it a 3. But the most important thing is, let's kind of see what everybody else is saying about this. So, we got 37 reviews, which really isn't a lot, but let's have a look at them. CEW013 says, awful, cannot read anything on the screen, boring as heck, don't waste your time, 0 stars. They couldn't really read anything on the screen because it was so fast. It wasn't blurry, but it was just too fast. So, hey, CEW013, I agree with you on that. Worst movie ever, horrible, it does not deserve any stars.
Oh, not even star worthy. Well...
Fam Tom, I don't think it's the worst movie I've ever seen. No. It's not great, but it's not the worst movie I've ever seen.
Not the worst. Definitely not the greatest.
We got another one from MCX2. Worst movie ever. I think that he probably meant worst. Worst movie ever. This movie shows you someone's computer screen in your TV and can't barely read the messages they're exchanging. Don't waste your money on this movie. Not worth it. I rate 1 star because they won't allow reviews with ratings by stars. Without rating by stars, but even 1 star is a lot. You're better off renting something else. Yeah, I've seen that quite a bit when I'm looking at reviews for these, that a lot of times they're like saying, I gave you a star because I had to, so yeah. All right, Voskadude was quite interesting. Oh, this person gave it 4 stars. Interesting.
Wow.
It was quite interesting, especially it was generous, especially the use of applications and advanced software. This is what I said, right? The blurryish picture in the beginning was a turnoff because they aren't dealing with the paranormal or extraterrestrials, and having that happen to the main character in the movie was dumb. Very real and crazy environment on the web. This world can definitely get dark as hell. So Voskadude, I was a little bit bugged out about that, where they kind of get the pixelation with the people. I'm not really feeling that. It was kind of an annoyance.
Yes, it was.
And it wasn't like, what were they doing?
Yeah.
What were they doing? How they have something on them that all of them blurred them out?
Why it was happening.
They didn't. It was kind of a pain. So Charcal gave it a 1 star. A lot of screenshots of Messenger. Couldn't read them. I could. Could you? I could read them.
Fine, yeah.
Left me not knowing what movie was about. Don't waste your money. I think you tried to say what the movie's about. Don't waste your money. I could read it was fast, but I could kind of read what it was going, you know. Kalau, awful. Maybe it gets better, but I couldn't make it past the first 30 minutes. I've never written a review before, but this was the worst. Do not waste your money.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Yeah,
Don't
waste your money. But like I said, $1.86. I mean, you gotta kind of weigh that. I was looking at the Blu-ray player, and although this wasn't a Blu-ray movie, I think I looked at it 20 minutes and I'm thinking this really hasn't started, so maybe Kalau, you should probably give it a little bit more time, because it was like an hour into it before it actually did something.
Yeah.
Kid A84, still think the first one, it is a sequel. Still think the first one was better and creepier, yet this one was a neat spin on why you shouldn't take something that isn't yours. That's a good lesson, kids. Yes, I'm sure there are hackers out there that can do this type of stuff, and yes, it's creepy and scary to think of what's really going on the dark web. Yeah. Yeah, sophistication. I don't think they're going to creep into your Messenger and do that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of things they can do out there, so watch what you're doing online. Nitro Burn 1972 says 1 star, watched a few minutes and skip forward, watched, skip forward, watched, yeah, no. Stupid and low budget, yes, we picked up on that. World would be better off had it never been made. Wow, that is a rip.
Tough crap.
Movies like Vomit throwing up on vomit. I'd rather puke or crap my pants in public than have to sit through watching this movie in its entirety. If Great Grandpa took a dookie and told me about it, it would be more interesting and, although gross, better than the crap that is in this movie. Put the movie in the toilet and flush it.
Tell us how you really feel.
I wouldn't have gone that strongly.
Bit harsh.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure you're in the bucket of gave you 1 star because I wanted to tell you how I really feel about it. Mimi loves BU. Maybe it was cut off.
Yeah.
I fell asleep. It's slow. Definitely it was slow. If you had got past the first 47 minutes, you probably would have not fallen asleep.
Yep.
Although, you know what? To be honest, I usually do fall asleep, and I didn't. So I don't know what that says. Is it good?
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Wow. Maybe I'm just soulless or something. All right. Stick Pin gave it a 2 stars. It's better than 1, right? Because if we know 1 usually means none in Redbox world.
Right.
Not as good as the first one. Again, another one that went for another one. So it had the first one. I have to see it now. Not as good as the first one, but if you knew the style of movie, it wasn't bad. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
MGT 37409, beyond mediocre, slow, boring, mind-numbing nonsense. Probably the worst attempt at horror or suspense I've suffered through in years. Just skip it.
Okay.
That was a 1 star rating. And Yeah, I mean, it is kind of listed as horror, but I didn't take it as horror.
No.
The only thing that was really like horrible was, I would say, the girl being pushed off
The platform.
off the platform. They don't show it on the building, or like the girl with the hole in her head. Oh, man.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so we got another 2-star rating.
All right.
Miki and T, and I think they just cut them off. 2 stars. It was okay. The acting wasn't great. Well, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But I guess, to be honest, if it's all about just doing Skype chat and stuff, how much of an actor do you have to be?
You don't need to be a great actor.
It seems pretty believable to me. What makes it scary is that this probably really happens. Good lesson. Don't take something that's not yours. Seems like we already read something similar to that. 1 star from Erica S4525. Wouldn't even give it 1. But you know you had to be heard, so you had to put it down. Rose in Paradise, I suppose, gave it a 2. This movie sucked, though it was the sequel to Friend Request. I guess, Friend Request, okay. Got movies mixed up. This was so slow and boring. Got better towards the very end, but still not worth it. Okay, well, probably get high standards. That's cool.
Oh, we got a 4-star.
Tanya Girl 925. Whoops. Thank you, Facebook. Maybe that was the person. I don't know. Sharon, is that you? Tanya Girl 925 gives it a 4 stars, which is 1 star better than you.
Wow.
Not a bad movie to watch at all. Very good plot. If there's anyone out there that can hack and do the things the villain does in this movie, is very scary. The filming was different, and though I wasn't going to like it, thought I wasn't going to like it, but it didn't bother me so much. Definitely not wasting your money or free rental on this movie. Kisses. Okay, well, I mean, it was a very interesting way to do a movie. Have you seen Phone Booth?
Yeah.
Was it Phone Booth?
No, I haven't seen it.
I mean, that's like one actual location. This was more than one location.
Phone booth, I take it?
It was, yeah. If anybody out there has seen Phone Booth, leave a comment about what you thought about that one. Not in Redbox. Okay, for Tony V20 gives it another 4 star. This movie
4 star.
is most of first-person perspective from a laptop. The texting on the screen, it can be a little annoying if you have a small TV. I have my 50-inch and had a little trouble there and reading the text. But overall, it's a good movie. Had a nice twist since crazy things actually happen. It does start pretty darn slow, that's for sure. But it'll get better. And that was like literally like an hour into the thing, it started getting better.
Yeah. When the movie was 2/3 of the way over, it got better.
Yeah. And then at the end, it was infinitely better, right? All right, here we go. Clom 4, 3 stars, more in line with what you got, Poe. I wasn't a fan of the screen typing. However, if you stick with it, it's a good movie with some suspense. Suspense, that's kind of being generous.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd at heart, and it really shows how there is no privacy in the internet.
Yep.
The movie starts off slow, but picks up pretty good near the middle and end. This movie reveals how sick our society is, as well as the many facets of the dark web. Now, I'm not sure, like, when they're talking about the river, that the whole animated desktop and stuff is really a thing, but cryptocurrency is a thing. It's traded on the dark web a lot. And all that stuff. As far as like hacking into messengers and stuff, people do that all the time. It just goes to show you about crappy passwords. You got to have good passwords and everything.
Yep.
And always sign out. Don't leave yourself signed into a browser, because if somebody else is in there after you, you've probably had people do this to you. They go and post things like, you know, my brother's the best brother ever. And then, you know, hearts and hugs and kisses, and then they find out later that they were hacked.
Yeah.
It wasn't really hacking, but, you know, you got to be better and more cautious. But yeah, I agree that since I'm kind of a nerd or a geek, I don't know really what I'd considered myself, but I kind of liked that the tech was in there, and they didn't really. They did it kind of justice. They didn't, like, I've seen some movies where they talk about, you know, different attacks and cyber stuff and malware, and they just like pronounce it wrong, and it's just like poorly delivered. But this was pretty accurate.
Yep.
Coacula gives it a 1 star. Do not waste your time.
Oh,
Okay.
Short and sweet.
Oh, Miss Nesbit. Do you know what that's a reference from?
That sounds so familiar.
Toy Story, I think.
Wow.
Buzz Lightyear, when he gets his arm ripped off and he's at like a tea party because the little sister has him, and he says, "I'm Ms. Nesbit." I don't know if that has any other thing to do with it, but that's what I think about. 1 star. The entire movie was typing on a computer screen, and it was so small you can't even read it unless you stand in front of the TV the whole time. Story led to nothing in the end and basically just cut off and ended. Was a lame letdown, waste of time. Now, Miss Nesbit, in fairness, I think this is like a 62-inch screen. I could see it fine from the couch, which is probably like 10 feet away. And the story did lead to something, and we discussed that right after it ended, which is it's sort of a flip, where this kid who's the main character was pretending because he was afraid of his girlfriend being killed and everything like that it was like some sick game that he made up, and in the end it ended up being a game that the dark web people and hackers are playing. Interesting. Asthma, 1 star. Very stupid, so I guess that says a lot. 1 star from Monocle 26. This was so bad. We gave, and I don't know whether that's my app or something like that. It's looks like there's more, but maybe she just didn't even gave anything.
She didn't give anything.
All right, Fiery 1 or LWF. 1 star, I just really did not like. Thank you, Twitter. That's going to be the next thing that comes up. Rufus McDuff, 1 star. I thought the shaky camera movies were bad. This is so much worse. I don't think like shaky camera, like Paranormal Activity or Blair Witch. I don't like those because they kind of make me sick.
Yeah.
This was okay. I wasn't sickened by it.
Paranormal Activity was on a tripod.
Yeah, true. 1 star from
Which was
DJS Baby Girl. I was so disappointed in this movie. Oh wait, hold on. You were so disappointed in it? If you went into it thinking it was going to be awesome, okay. It sounded like a good thriller, but it was boring. I kept waiting for it to get better, but it didn't. I couldn't read any of the messages, so it was hard to follow. I wouldn't waste your time or money on this low-budget, boring movie.
And the theme here.
Yeah, it's another person who couldn't read it. Maybe you need to get a bigger set. As far as low budget, as both of us know, we've been on low-budget movies, mostly mine. It does cost a decent amount of money, and for somebody to spend $1.86 with tax to rent it, it's not really, I mean, it's not really a big spend. This wasn't a movie that you spent a lot of money in the theater, hopefully, on. I don't think it was in the theater. P.S. Ryder gives it 1 star. Don't waste your time. Must have been one of the lowest budget films ever. People that give this more than 1 star need to have their heads examined, perhaps with a hole.
I believe Paranormal Activity was one of the lowest budget films.
Was it?
Yeah.
Huh, we'll have to check that. If you know, you could leave a comment below and tell us which is the lowest budget. I don't think this was. I'd like to kind of find out if there is any information on how much it cost. If I was to guess, I would say
this one cost more
less than $100,000.
Yeah.
And that's being very generous.
I'd say 50.
Okay. Oh, and this is a good one from Rob83. Seems like a giant commercial for Apple.
Okay.
I watched the movie for about an hour and completely lost interest. I can't remember the last time I turned off a movie that quick before. Everything's from the perspective of a guy's computer, and it's just too boring and uninteresting. Not even worth renting.
Wow.
Okay. I do agree kind of with the Apple thing. It was all pretty much Apple and Mac stuff. We don't know what the other girls had, but we did know that the kid in London had a Windows computer, which was a shock to me, actually. He did.
Yes, he did.
But those hackers know how to hack any of them, so it didn't matter.
Right.
Hopefully they got some of their money back from Apple, but Apple probably wouldn't want to be associated. They probably requested they do something, make it a pair. Still a child 77. That's better than still a child. Sorry about that. Still a child. Wow, that was weird. It just added like 2 letters. 3 stars, better than the first, different style of a movie, theme was intriguing. This is the first person that's actually said that they liked this one better than the first one.
Yeah.
Now I haven't seen the first one and you haven't either, Poe, so we can't really comment on that, but that is a unique perspective so far. L. Ludd, this is a 1 star. This is an entire movie filmed on a computer screen. It's as if you're watching someone's computer, just my personal opinion, but I did not care for the format and could not get into the movie at all. I turned it off after 30 minutes of trying. You just missed the mark, L. Ludd, because it did get kind of interesting. That's kind of, I would say, the risk that you take when you are filming a movie in a new and unique way, right? I remember, because it's almost Halloween, it's Halloween tomorrow, or in a couple of minutes. They were talking about the original Halloween movie and Michael Myers and all that, and the way that they used the Panaglide camera and everything like that. It was a new and unique way and a perspective, and some people liked it and some people didn't. But that was in 1978, I believe, that movie came out, and it's actually still talked about, and it's legend, right?
Right.
So I don't think that this is going to catch on, but maybe it will. Dixie Chick 19, I gave it 2 stars, more in line with what I was thinking. It was okay. I think it was going to, wait a minute. It was okay. I think if you was going to see it, you would have been better at the theater, because all the text was so small and you have to read what was going on. We have a 40-inch HD TV, and me and my husband was struggling to read the text on the screen. It was boring at first and picked up a little. You're not missing out on anything if you didn't watch it. Okay.
Again,
well,
so not being
maybe the difference between the 40 and the 60 makes a difference about seeing it. Again, another person who was saying they couldn't see the text, so a lot of the movie was missed. Based on the other reviews, I would say you definitely wouldn't have wanted to see this in the theater, because it would have cost you a lot more, and you didn't lose much. AT Leanne 99 gives it 3 stars. It was all right. Scared, I think. That might have been some sort of glitch.
Yep.
We got On Rec 1 star, Save Your.
Okay.
Mr. Scalliath 2 stars. I was ready to turn it off after the first 15. Oh, you gotta give it longer than that, man.
Really?
I stuck it out and got drawn into the movie. Yeah, I was kind of interested. Yeah. At first I was like looking at a computer and it was hard to read. Then I realized the sick behavior really does happen.
Okay, yeah.
Watching the movie all the way through, or no? Good on you for getting through the first 15, because it did take a little while. Big Maddie 821 gives it 3 stars. I was excited for this movie since the dark net is such a big deal. But I was not impressed, mostly because your TV shows a computer screen for most of the movie. Very hard to read typing unless you have a big TV. Seems like it was very low budget to make, but I guess it did have a good story to it.
I just have to say, if you're going to see a movie called Dark Web, you should know that you're dealing with a computer screen.
That is a good point. If you didn't know what the heck the dark web was and you were shocked it was all about computer screens.
Expecting something else. I'm sorry, guys, but...
Maybe it could have been a spider story. Okay. Oh, whoa, we get a 5-star here from Fenny J, probably the director's wife. Okay, I rented this with low expectations. Okay. Good idea.
Right, yeah.
After seeing so many negative reviews, but I was surprisingly impressed.
Yep.
This was way better than the first one. Well thought out this time with a twist at the end. I agree with the twist at the end. Yeah. 5 stars is extreme, I would say.
Yeah.
And you know what? This is, I gotta give it to the Fenny J because they're saying that they actually read the reviews and they still went for it. So here on this show, we just avoid the reviews until this point because we want to be as surprised as you are when we and see if we made a total mistake. We're getting down to the end. We got Special Guy with 1 star. This movie contains scenes with lots of writing and typing messages on a computer screen that cannot be easily read unless you have a very large screen TV. On my 30-inch set I had available, I could only read less than 25% of the text, and that was with pausing the movie frequently. Assuming that some of the messages were important to the plot, I stopped watching the movie after 20 minutes. Now, I agree with that. If you can't read it and the movie seems to be like this was a lot of text, you better just hang it up.
Yep.
You better. There's nothing else you can do about it. All right, well, Gay Lantern, 3 stars, says, wasn't a bad movie. Leaves you with paranoia at the end. It was actually decent. Maybe wouldn't pay big money to watch it, but I'd def see it again with friends.
Oh, all right.
Okay, well, here's a question I have for you. If you gave it 3 stars, but you definitely watch it again with friends, why? If you see the video, why don't you comment below and let us know why you gave it only 3 stars and you'd see it again. Maybe just to laugh at it, possibly. The paranoia at the end, it was, I kind of felt a little weird about it. Like it was kind of like, ooh, no. But I don't think I'm going to be watching my Facebook Messenger about it.
No.
Okay, here we go. 1 star, last one. Hollywood sucks. Hollywood has 2 L's, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh, Hollywood. Yeah.
Doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, anyway.
2 L's.
Okay. Let's see what Hollywood sucks says about this one. This movie is living proof that Hollywood cannot make a decent movie. Garbage in, garbage out.
Like that,
Right. Probably, right? Yeah, hey, look at that. I think we have an insider. This is a hacker here. Cannot make a decent movie. Garbage in, garbage out. The entire cast should consider new careers in completely different fields, and the writers should try writing grocery lists on something equally as interesting. Yuck. Well, as far as that comment goes, this one movie, which is a low-budget movie, I don't think speaks to Hollywood in general. There are a lot of good movies out there. And as far as the actors, as you know, I mean, it's only as good as the direction and the script is. I mean, obviously, when you talk about really good actors and actresses, they're not going to pick a crap movie because they know they could be the best actor that they could possibly be, but, you know, if they've got crap to deal with, it's gonna be crap. It's gonna be crap, and they're gonna say this girl is a crap actor and can't act. They should do whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was this movie, which was Unfriended, the dark web. It's $1.86 at Redbox.
There was no reference of unfriending.
That's true.
So the film title was a little. What's the word?
It was off-putting or incorrect.
Off-putting, yes, that's it.
It was incorrect. You might be going in thinking it's something else.
Happening? Should be called Sharon.
It should be called
Sharon?
Probably Don't Take a Laptop. Sharon, Fisher of Dead Men, Farrier of Everything. I don't know. So yes, it was kind of misleading, but you know, when I think about the days where I used to go to Blockbuster Video or Curtis Mathis Video, and a lot of times when you get a low budget movie, You know that you're going to try and make your money back, and you're going to hope, I would assume, okay, I don't know, I don't have the insider story, but I'm going to assume that you're not going to have, you're going to hope that people don't talk about it and like have that word spread, hey, don't waste your time on this. And you kind of try to make up for that with either a good title or a good like jacket, right?
Yes.
It's got to be good.
Right.
This one was like, it was like a screaming face with a trash bag over it.
That was off-putting because that. Did it happen?
That never happened.
No, it never
so
happened.
Where did that come from? Was that a deleted scene?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Looked like a different actor too.
Yeah, it probably was. It was like, you've got great teeth. Why don't we just... You look good in a trash bag. In a shopping bag. They just kind of like, you put tape on your face.
Grocery list for them.
That's right.
1-star rating.
So anyway, thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit. This is episode 1 of Redbox'd. Again, this movie was Unfriended, the Dark Web. It's available in Redbox right now as of the 30th of October. It's $1.86 or something around there with tax. Depends on how much you got to pay the governor. I'd say, if I say thumbs up, thumbs down, I'd say thumbs up if you got a couple of hours to kill and want to check it out. But don't always read or believe the reviews that you hear. Sometimes you just got to see it yourself and make your own judgment.
Yes.
Till next time, see ya.
Bye.